Do your fingers bend backwards when you play piano?
Hi, my name is Michelle. Welcome to the theOpenScore, and here are 4 easy hacks that I've used with my students to help improve their hand posture. Joint alignment is really important for your hand's health, but strong aligned joints can help you play with better technique and better sound production. Sometimes your fingers might be bending backwards, not necessarily because your hand is weak, but it could be that you're not really aware of this joint itself. It could be the way that you're approaching the piano, or it could be the way that you're using your fingers.
The first exercise is the O-ring, and what you do is you make an O shape with your fingers, your thumb and your first, and you gently push down on this joint, trying to not let it collapse like this. And I really like this exercise because it brings awareness about where this joint is and also how to reinforce it.
If you're working with young children, obviously don't push down too hard, but you can easily make it into a game, see who wins, and they can also practice this on their own by just taking the other hand like I am and pushing down. You can do this fingers 2, 3, 4, and 5, and in even just a few days, you're definitely going to see a difference once you get more awareness of where this joint is and how to reinforce it. The second exercise I have is called the pencil push-ups, and this is a wonderful activity to understand how to keep your fingers strong even if you're applying arm weight down into the key. So grab a pencil or a pen that clicks. With a curved finger, you want to put that finger on the top of that pencil here, and with your arm and your wrist nice and straight, you want to push down or apply your arm weight down until that pencil or pen clicks. You want to try to not let that joint bend backwards as you're applying that downward force. So do that about 5 times on your second finger, 5 times on the third, fourth, and fifth. Make sure that your fingers are not up high or underneath. You want to keep them nice and relaxed for whichever finger you're not using. Number 3 is the skin tug test. Sometimes you might be double jointed and that's why your finger bends backwards, or it could be the way that you're applying your weight and your force into the piano. So to test this out, what I need you to do is grab the back of your hand and your index finger, and I just want you to just gently tug at your skin. It's just a tiny, tiny little movement, and sometimes it's just this tiny little movement that you need to reinforce this joint. Sometimes if we're playing piano and we are pushing our hands or our force away from ourselves, it can cause the joint to flatten out. It'll roll backwards. For example, let's say I'm playing piano and I'm going forward, and basically I'm just pushing my skin away. You can see how it's going to roll that finger back and the joint will bend backwards. So if we just have a little bit of grip, sometimes that little tiny tug at the very first joint might be all that you need to reinforce that curvature of the finger. Number 4 is the forward throwing technique. I've heard this tip from pianists and teachers who are also double jointed, and they recommend throwing your energy and your weight forward into the piano, and that it's helped reinforce the joints for their students who are also double jointed.
To understand this idea, try this with me. With a fist, throw that fist forward onto the lid of your piano or a table and make a knocking sound. Once you get comfortable with this motion, apply the same type of feeling but with all of your fingers out landing on your fingertips. You can even try staying in place after you throw to see where you are landing on those fingers and if they're staying in that naturally curved state.
Let me know your experience with keeping your hands in that nice, natural, rounded hand posture down in the comments below. Follow me for more piano tips and musical skits, and happy practicing!